So, the company has decided to work on a questionnaire which would solve its problem. So, the questionnaire probably would look like this, because they want to know whether consumers first of all will buy the luxury products, whether the market is lucrative, whether the market exists or not. That is a fundamental question. The company has assumed that because people are having a lot of money, affluent sections, neo-rich people are growing, they would buy. Does not mean that they will buy. The attractiveness of the market has to be first tested, whether there is demand. So, the first question that the company plans is, do you buy global brands? Say yes or no. This is the dichotomous. So, before that, the company, as we have discussed, should tell about the objective of the research, what is expected, and they have to assure that the information will not be used for any other purpose. So, having said that, the questionnaire would start. As I said, it will go from simple to complex. So, the first question is, this company has launched a global brand. So, whether the South Indian traditional people would buy first of all a global brand? Yes or no? Next would be, do you buy a global luxury brand? If people say no, they do not want to buy a luxury brand, then it is better to close the store rather than running, since it is dwindling and there are not many takers. If there is no culture of buying a luxury brand, or people are not interested, there is no demand, then there is no point in running the store. So, the company should understand whether there is demand or not, whether there is potential or not for a global luxury brand. So, if more than 60 or 80% of them said yes, then they should continue the store. Otherwise, if there is no demand, if people say that they do not want to buy or they do not buy, there is no culture of buying luxury brands, then it is better to close. Then probably the time people may be buying, they may say yes. But in the consumer behavior, we have seen that the products apparel are seasonal and occasional. So, we have to ask, probably the launch period may be the dry period, where there are no occasion, there is no festival, there is no new year, and it could be dry period. So, we will ask, when do they buy? You can say, for this is closed ended, we will give options. A, during occasions, it could be birthday or festivals or whatever, during occasions, and once in a month or once in a quarter or regularly. So, if majority of them say that they buy for occasions, then probably they are correct. This period could be a slack period, and if they buy regularly, then there is a problem. That why they are not buying. They want to buy luxury brands, they buy regularly, but they are not buying from this luxury brand. There is a problem which has to be further evaluated. So, as we have seen that the research, since it is an exploratory, they do not know where the problem is and it is descriptive, and any new company when it is launched, it is not doing overall not well, they should understand where the problem is. It could be in terms of product, price, promotion, place. So, they should ask, if they are buying, what products they buy. They may be buying global brands and luxury brands, but they may be buying the products which may not be there in the store. In case, what products they would buy. And this company has opened a luxury brand, there is a demand. So, which brands they buy? If so, the choice of the brand which they have taken, though the company might have done some study, but still in this place where they are not doing well, the reason could be the place where they have opened the store may have preference for an American luxury brand or an European luxury brand, or they may be very specific about Italian or French luxury brand which is not available. So, it is not wrong, nothing wrong also in asking what luxury brand or brands they would buy. You can give a closed ended or open ended here if you want to know exactly what brand preferences they have. Then, how much they spend. This is a very interesting, how much. The consumers may be buying luxury brands, but the pricing here is they are simply converting into rupees. Probably the consumer who is global trotting may be thinking, when I go to US or Europe or France or Italy, I will buy there. When I am spending the same amount, why should I buy here? Let me have the experience. Moreover, it is placed next to the departmental store where they may not get value in terms of place of purchase. So, the research might contain a question on how much you spend on a typical luxury product. And if the researcher is interested in accessories, they may ask on accessories how much you spend. But many times the researcher would give a range as part of the options in the close ended. It will not be, I spend up to, options $1,000, $5,000. If somebody wants to say 3,000, there is no option available. So, they will give a range $1,000 to $5,000 or $5,000 to $10,000, like that. They have to give the range when you talk about how much the consumer would be willing to spend. So, having understood the product and price related questions to collect data on or information relating to the product and price, the next will be on the promotion. This is where it appears from the case itself, as we discussed, that fundamentally they are going wrong, because for the luxury customers, as per the principles of luxury management, the same principles which we apply to the general marketing cannot be applied to luxury product management. And Appmr says the rules that you apply for luxury brands or marketing rules that you apply are anti-laws of marketing. He says they are anti-laws of marketing, just opposite. So, the company here has to look at the promotional aspects, particularly in terms of advertising. They have to ask the target customers, the segment that we have chosen, the rich, among all the loyal customers. There the stratification has to be done very carefully, and selection of the samples, the sampling process itself is to be very careful. Otherwise, you will get data from the middle class or lower middle class, who may say, when we have studied the attitude towards the object is good. They may say they want to buy a luxury brand, but the behavior will not be there. See, who will say no if somebody asks, is Mercedes-Benz car good? I will tell yes, it is a good car. But will you buy? In the next couple of months, how likely you will be buying a Mercedes-Benz in the next 3 months? If this question is asked, that is what is in the attitude, the cognitive aspect, the actual behavior. Many would be giving negative answers. So, the selection of the sample itself, or sampling process, has to be correct, so that you identify the correct sample on whom you will be doing this research. So, when you ask the correct respondent the correct question, you will get the correct information. So, the next question that can be asked is, what newspapers, if at all, would you buy? You may give the options of the popular newspapers, magazines in that area. There can be another question on in terms of magazines, etc. But as we all know, since the store is opened in one of the southern city on an experimental basis, there is no need of giving advertisements in the national level newspapers. Though for promotion it can be given, but based on this question, if the target customers do not read national, but they read mostly the regional. For local news, many of even the rich customers depend on the regional newspapers. It may not be the regional language newspaper, but it can be a regional newspaper. But we have to give options. Though the connoisseurs may not get the time to read, but since the company which is giving the advertisements is releasing a national level newspapers and also TV channels which run soaps. During soaps or popular serials, they may be airing the advertisements. So, as per the anti-laws of marketing, there will not be any advertisements normally in the newspapers or in television channels for the luxury brands. But if looking at the local requirements, if they are running, you can find out. Mostly the connoisseurs would be watching, if you look at the lifestyle of them, the business or news, the two prime news. So, we can check from the consumers what newspapers, which channels, which programs they would look, and accordingly the promotion can be done. So, the media habits can be tested, and most of the times the luxury brands advertise not in newspapers, but normally in magazines like Vogue, Elle, etc. So, that is why even that is not for building the sales, but just to tell what kind of people, they use celebrities just to tell what kind of people buy. Many times for the luxury brands, the product itself is advertisement, that can give advertisement because of word of mouth. They want to keep all non-users away from that product. So, but still, if there is a problem with the local adjustment, that has to be done. So, this is where the marketing research can understand the media habits of the people. And next is, what mode of communication with you from luxury brand would you prefer? The company is directly sending mails, emails, which many times their secretaries might be looking at. So, there the CRM is very good. The personalization and individual dealing, personal and customization is so much in luxury brand industry that the customer should be directly contacted, and they have to be involved at all stages, right from the product development to the throughout the life cycle. The customers are so loyal. There are people who are there patronizing some luxury brands for decades. So, what kind of mode of communication a customer prefers, that only has to be undertaken. So, the communication. Next, the question would be with respect to the celebrities and their influence. The local customers, luxury customers, though it is a luxury brand global and people are globetrotters and they prefer to watch and identify the brand, probably there can be some association. Say for example, Shah Rukh Khan, Aishwarya Roy, they are associated with some of the luxury brands, Omega, Rolex, etc. So, this is localization as per the customer or consumer's choice. So, the company can know what celebrities, which celebrities would influence your decision making, or which celebrity should be associated with the luxury brand locally. Probably they can associate them. So, So, the place of the store, where they would ideally, the place where they would ideally would love to purchase should the store be next to the shopper stop, or should it be in a 5-star hotel, or should it be in a luxury mall? This is regarding the place. So, as we have seen from the principles of luxury management, in order to separate the customers from non-customers and to create the distance from the consumers, there is a selective and restrictive distribution of the company and brand. It is strategically incorrect to place a store next to the same middle class or upper middle class departmental store. At least that can be taken away and kept at a luxury or upmarket place. That is the reason why many luxury brands have their stores in luxury malls or in 5-star hotels. But whatever, what is convenient and where they feel the luxury is to be known from the customers themselves. So, understanding in terms of product, price, promotion, and no luxury brand would give discounts or offers. This is again antithesis, anti-law, which this Indian company has erred in. So, is that appreciated by the consumers or not? Again, as part of marketing research, you can know from the consumers. Finally, research consists of both qualitative and quantitative aspects, and mostly the qualitative aspects we know from the open-ended questions. So far we are asking about the closed-ended. One open-ended question: any suggestions to improve the marketing or to increase the sales? This is an open-ended question and qualitative. So, this gives vital information. We might have missed some of the aspects which a consumer may be thinking. As a researchers, we might have not thought. We go by the problem in hand purely about sales, or we normally think as marketers about certain factors only. So, the consumer might have something different from what a marketer would be thinking. So, he may talk about the sizes. The global sizes and Indian sizes could be different. So, he may tell that yes, I have visited, but next time why I did not visit is because my size is not available, you have global sizes. So, these kind of factors which we missed are the qualitative aspects, the ambience. He may talk about the AC, he may talk about even the salesman. sometimes the luxury customers may not like to get a product in a luxury store from the same person from whom he has taken, say 3 months back in the departmental store. It could be the reason. So, a consumer has to tell what is the problem. So, we give normally an open-ended question to know why he is not buying or when he will buy. What changes are to be brought? The question can be what changes are to be brought by this company so that you will buy. What makes you more attracted towards the store? Or will you buy from a family, as a family? The store has both men, women and kids. So, all those factors which we have missed, the consumer can tell the solution. That is why there is a popular saying in marketing, the consumer is the problem and the consumer is the solution. He only can tell you where we went wrong. So, this open-ended question would tell from the consumers what would make the XYZ luxury brand store to be successful. Having done this, you can collect at the end the demographic details. Such as the name, income. As I said, income also, you cannot tell that you tell exactly how much income do you have. Many may not prefer. So, you can give ranges in order to get the income bracket in which they are. Then age again can be given in brackets, because some of the people may not like to give exactly their ages. So, you can give a bracket that 25 to 30 or 20 to 25 like that, so that you get the required information. Then the educational qualifications, occupations, address. This serves two purposes. You would know where exactly your target customers, many of them are residing, so that it will give you a queue also where you can locate the store many times. And it is nothing wrong in, if the customer is not willing to provide his mobile or landline number, you can take the email addresses as part of the address. So, once this questionnaire is made and the data is collected, it has to be analyzed as we were discussing through a table, charts. The traditional method is through collection of the information and tabulating. We will take each of the questionnaire, would code each of the question, and the responses we will take through tally mark. Question 1, do you buy global brands? First questionnaire, say yes, there is 1. If somebody says no, keep that aside. Again another questionnaire, if they say yes, another tally mark. The third questionnaire, question number 1, again there is yes, another tally mark. And questionnaire 4 says yes, they buy the global brand, there is another tally mark. And questionnaire 5, again question number 1, do you buy global brands? Yes. So, 5 people have said yes. So, out of 100, you go on doing this, you will get that out of 100, 80 said they buy global brands and global luxury brands, you have a business. The demand is there. The next is how to get that is your effort as a marketer. You have to look into. But from the demand, market point of view, there is demand. So, this is how the data collected and coded has to be analyzed. Probably the Excel sheets or the SPSS and other software tools can help you in simplifying. Then you will get all these in terms of bar graphs, 80% or pie charts. This is 80% and 20% who said no. The 20% is in black, this is no and this is yes. So, there are various ways of representing the data. These are all the consequences and the results of the data collected. And from that you will look at the findings. The finding 1 is majority of the customers are willing to buy a global luxury brand. So, the finding is there is demand for a luxury brand in XYZ city or market. So, where do you buy the luxury brand? They will tell exclusive luxury brand outlet. So, your strategy of starting an exclusive outlet instead of keeping the product in the departmental store is correct. Now, strategically no luxury brand except the accessories or perfumes or low priced but luxury brands which are relatively priced higher would be kept in the departmental stores, whereas the apparel, the designer wear and haute couture products will not be sold. So, broadly you are getting an answer that they would buy from an exclusive. So, where? They may say in a very posh area. So, your finding is the customers are not willing to buy from the store which is next to the departmental store. So, these are all your findings. Then suggestions. The finding 1 is there is demand. So, the suggestion is continue with the store and look for what consumer is looking for more to buy. The finding is customer do not want to buy from a departmental store or from a location where there are low end stores. The suggestion is open or shift this store to a place where the consumer would prefer to buy a luxury product. It could be a 5-star hotel or wherever. The suggestion could be to move the store to a 5-star hotel or luxury mall, etc. So, from analysis you will get finding, and from finding you will give a suggestion that you have to buy from so and so at this place. So, they are in continuation. So, the conclusion is there is demand for the luxury brands in XYZ city and consumers are willing to buy provided we do this. That is the conclusion. So, looking at the caselet, the logical conclusion would be after the research plan is made, executed, data is collected, analyzed, findings and suggestion. This is how the market research would end in suggesting concrete solutions. The marketing research should solve the problem at the end. After all our efforts is to solve by systematic collection of the data, analysis and presentation of the data to solve the problem is what is marketing research. We have done exactly the same, and this departmental store now got solutions to overcome or increase the sales. And if you think this is the end, that is end of the luxury store business. The research has to be continuous. The problems keep emerging even for the well established brands, products, companies. The problems are continuous because the consumers are so dynamic, changing, so diverse. Problems keep coming. So research is a continuous process, and every time it has to solve the problem. So we have understood what marketing research is, the advantages, limitations, the process. Then we have seen and understood how marketing research works through a caselet. Hope you apply these concepts in your marketing scenarios and would be successful. You have come to the end of this unit. To summarize, in this unit, you have been introduced to the different philosophies of marketing, examine the components and nuances of marketing and understood its synthesis and application to fashion marketing. You have also been given an overview of consumer and industrial markets and their buying behavior. We also have reviewed the skills required for fashion marketers. The case study will assist you in developing a robust approach and to understand how to be effective in apparel marketing. Thank you.